Now at 5, our weather impact alert day continues as the strongest winds are moving in now, nearing 60 miles an hour.
I'm live in Whiteland right now as rain and wind is picking up in Johnson County. We'll have those current conditions coming up.
And so now we're back on that path to do what we're supposed to do, and that's challenge for championships.
The season is over, but the movement isn't.
The Indiana Fever sharing their hopes for the future. Live from Indy on this Friday night, you're watching 13 News.
It's 5 o'clock, and right now we are in the heart of a weather impact alert day across central Indiana.
The remnants of Hurricane Helene are here right now, bringing rain and damaging wind. This weather is having a big impact on nearly everyone's Friday night plans.
In just the last few hours, in fact, we heard from IPS canceling all activities that were after school today. And also following suit, many area high schools also are postponing their football games. Some of them have homecoming activities that are canceled too.
So we've got a complete list for you to check out. It's on WTHR.com. Before you go to the website, let's get you updated on our forecast.
You can see this is the storm system, and it's blanketing central Indiana right now. This is live Doppler 13 radar. It's all the after effects of Hurricane Helene. Here's a look to the south, where it hit Florida late last night as a Cat 4 storm, causing all this damage. What you're looking at here from above is the Big Bend. Tonight, we do have live team coverage for you on the impact that Helene's having right here at home. Anna Chalker, for example, is checking out the conditions here in Whiteland.
Yeah, we'll get with her in a minute, but let's begin tonight at 5 with Angela. She's in the Weather Center showing us the impact of the storm all over central Indiana. Angela?
Scott and Ann, we felt the impacts all day with the rain and the wind. Unfortunately, the worst is coming in right now. You can see that wind gust in Columbus nearing 60 miles per hour. The latest gust in Bartholomew County at 57. We have a wind gust of 43 in Shelbyville, 40 miles per hour in Muncie. Speaking of Shelbyville, just within the last 10 minutes, we're getting reports of trees and power lines down. We expect that power outage map to change dramatically over the next hour and a half as these strong winds, damaging winds, move into central Indiana. We continue to contend with the rain that is heavy at times, some lowland standing water, but widespread flooding not an issue at this point. Steady rain from Greenwood to Franklin, Martinsville to Bloomington, over toward Columbus into Greensburg, Shelbyville, Rushville, along I-70 from Greenfield to Newcastle to Richmond. Rain blanketing Marion County and the surrounding communities. The rain is going to continue to fall. In addition to that damaging wind threat and the rain, keeping an eye on some cells that have gone severe. We've had severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings in between Cincinnati and Columbus. We will watch these cells closely for you over the next several hours. Rainy and windy for those games that do continue. Make sure you check the status. We expect this weather impact alert day to continue through this evening, again with those winds now nearing 60.
Thanks, Angela. For days, our team of meteorologists have been tracking this storm and have told you to expect power outages.
That's right. We're seeing, in fact, more outages across a huge area. Check this out. People are without electricity from Florida to central Indiana. Right now, we've got about 2,000 AES Indiana customers without electricity.
We're seeing about 5,000 Duke customers without power across Indiana. Our Anna Chalker joining us live right now with a look at why we have these outages.
Anna, what are you seeing right now?
Well, hey, Scott, Anne Marie, I'm out here at Whiteland. We're here off of US 31, and let me tell you, this wind is picking up. It's raining. It's pelting into my face. That's just kind of how hard it is. But I want to show you, look at this tarp behind me. Really, the only thing keeping it up are the pumpkins. If the pumpkins were out, that tarp would be flying. But I want to show you right now, we've seen not a lot of damage, but a lot of things flying off here outside on the ground. We have some signs from this produce area. They have fallen onto the ground completely, but let me tell you, throughout the day in Indianapolis, it has been a wet and damaging day. I want to show you some of that video right now. This is out here in Broad Ripple. You can see where a tree was on a power line earlier this morning when our crew was out. We were also out on the east side when a tree fell in the middle of the street. That's kind of near 30th and Keystone. That should be cleared up in this moment. Now, fallen trees are not the only thing crews are worried about. Flooding, power lines down, and even more wind damage is a lot of things I have to worry about tonight. We talked with Indy DPW, and they say if there is any damage in front of you, do not move it.
Our crews are going to be out there and just be on standby. Please do not interfere. Do not feel the need to try and be like a martyr per se. Just allow our crew members to do the work that they are trained to do.
And this is for any utility crew here in central Indiana. We know they're going to be working long hours tonight. But hey, we're going to make our way back into Indianapolis to check out if there's any damage, any more throughout the rest of the day. But we'll be keeping up with that and have live updates here throughout 5 and at 6 o'clock. Scott, Anne-Marie.
All right, Anna, thanks so much. Please stay safe as you're out and about there reporting for us tonight. And like we said at the top of the hour, we're starting to see a lot of high schools that are making changes to their plans for tonight, football games and homecoming events.
And we also checked in today with the Circle City Classic. They had to cancel tonight's pep rally, but they tell us the parade is still a go for tomorrow.
They are going to make a final decision on that later tonight. They are keeping an eye on the forecast, and we'll let you know what they decide.
You can keep track of our weather right now using our live Doppler 13 weather app.
It's a free download, and you can find it, as always, in your phone's app store. We do have some breaking news here tonight at 5:05. IMPD releasing edited body cam and surveillance video of police shooting a man during a confrontation.
Now, this video you're about to see is from November of 2023. IMPD couldn't release it earlier because of a court order.
This happened on Caroline Avenue near 38th Street. IMPD received calls that Dontriel Hood fired nearly a dozen shots, and this is video from Hood's home.
You can see he pulled a gun outside of his front window toward the patrol car that was responding. Hood then walks out the back door and drops the gun. So this next video shows Hood surrendering to officers, and as officers negotiate with him, he runs and grabs the gun.
That's when an officer shot him in the arm. He pleaded guilty to criminal recklessness and unlawful carrying of a handgun. Hood was sentenced to at least 1 year in prison.
Hood told the judge he suffers from schizophrenia. He'll be on home detention and receive mental health treatment.
Also, more breaking news tonight here at 5.
Yeah, the Marion County prosecutor tonight dropping the case against a former Lawrence police officer. A grand jury had previously indicted Jonathan Clark on several battery charges for shooting a suspect in 2020. Now, in a motion to dismiss the charges, the prosecutor said the man who was shot stopped talking with police.
Clark's attorneys issued a statement saying they were pleased but didn't think the case should have ever made it to this point. They went on to say any police officer in the country would have taken the same action. Well, a man who shot and killed his ex-wife's new husband in a church parking lot at her mother's funeral today is learning that he's going to prison for the next 40 years.
This shooting devastated the families of both the victim and the shooter. Our Rich Nye was at the sentencing and saw those families comfort one another outside the courtroom.
Stephen Lowe pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter in the November 2022 shooting death of Jermaine Turman at Oasis of Hope Church on East 25th Street. A murder charge was dismissed in the plea agreement. Turman's mother is grateful the families avoided reliving the incident during a trial.
I'll never forget, but I'm glad that it's over.
Lowe showed up at a funeral of his ex-wife's mother and started a fight with Shannon Turman's new husband, Jermaine. Lowe shot him in the chest. Lowe's attorney read a statement on behalf of his client.
First, I want to apologize to Mr. Turman's family and my family. I realize I have an anger issue that needs treatment. And since I have taken responsibility for what I did, the primary thing I will focus on in the future is getting control over my anger issue.
Pamela Grant witnessed her son being shot and killed. She told Stephen Lowe in the courtroom that she hopes one day she'll be able to forgive him. Outside the courtroom, Grant comforted Lowe's family.
Are you his mother? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
My deepest condolences.
No, but we try to raise our kids the best way we can.
We do.
And when they get grown and stuff, I mean, it's out of our hands.
Lowe is going to prison for 40 years.
I just want people to think before they make a decision to pick up a gun and shoot somebody, because nobody wins.
The families deal with a lifetime sentence of grief.
I am so sorry.
Okay, I'll be praying for you, okay?
Likewise.
In Indianapolis, Rich Knight, 13 News.
Shannon and Jermaine Turnman had only been married 3 months. He was 42 and left behind 5 children. A family in Kokomo says tonight that a longtime coach at Taylor High School had an inappropriate relationship with their daughter.
The school district tells us that the coach has since been let go and is now banned from school property.
Our Chase Howell has been following this story for us, and he learned the parents caught wind about this alleged relationship by going through their daughter's phone.
Scott, Anne-Marie, that's right. And that's something the child advocate I spoke to encourages all parents to do. She also told me a lot of predators are people we know and trust, similar to this alleged incident. While the Taylor High School coach hasn't been charged, the school did confirm there was an inappropriate relationship. Christina Carr, above the senior attorney with the Zero Abuse Project, says incidents like these typically begin with grooming. For example, if a child is interested in Taylor Swift, the predator will show a similar interest and begin to push boundaries, like inviting them over to their house home alone to listen to her music.
So that system starts to get built in where the child is getting things for paying attention to and being with the coach. And after that, right, it just progresses. And now once the child is alone with the coach, then maybe there's some touches that seem innocent or could be brushed off as innocent, but progressively become more.
Part of the school district statement to me was having constant conversations about grooming and what that looks like. Ahead at 6, more of the district's response and how these types of incidents affect the whole family.
Chase, thank you. The Tippecanoe County Election Board just approved early voting centers at Purdue.
All of this comes after a lot of pushback from the public. Now they'll have early voting at McAllister Recreational Center on Saturday, October 19th.
And at Cordova Rec Sports Center on campus on Thursday, the 24th. However, there are still no voting locations planned for on campus on Election Day. A battery reported on the Monon.
The Help Metro Police say they need tonight as they try to find the person who's responsible. We've got that new at 5:30. Angela?
Scott, rainy at times all the way through the weekend, when you will have some dry time, and I'm going to update you on those damaging winds that are moving in now.
Deaths and devastation across Florida tonight after Hurricane Helene hits the state.
The damage we're seeing in the daylight across the South when we come back.